Okay, Ms. Shoney, your report.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay trying to get out of here. I have for you copies on the piano of the advertised budget that was in the paper starting last Saturday. And the presentation I have for you this evening pretty much mirrors the presentation I made last month. The only change that has been made is, so currently, as Mr. Somchin has spoken to the board about the capital projects for the renovation of our instructional spaces, which is a withdrawal from our capital reserve account. So that's our revenue source, and then the expenditure for the construction project. In addition, the board also has an emergency reserve fund. And out of that emergency reserve fund, you can spend it in only two ways. One is for security projects, and the other one is to account for health insurance costs over 4%. So what the board has been receiving quotes from vendors for various security projects that they would like to engage, whether it's the replacement of panic buttons and strobe lights. So what we're recommending this evening is to do a withdrawal of $46,000 from our emergency reserve account. So you'll see here, final budget. So the difference between the original budget that was sent to the county superintendent that was approved and our final budget is an overall increase of $46,000, which again, as I was saying, as we go here to revenue highlights, you will see highlighted in blue, midway down, emergency reserve withdrawal of $46,000. One other thing, there's one other addition as well, I apologize. I inserted an expenditure highlight slide, which takes the various components of our budget and itemizes it by account lines, regular instruction, special instruction, student support services, administration, and facilities, benefits, and capital improvements. And those percentages tie out to our pie graph on how the funds are spent in the district. So with that, I'd like to open it up for any questions anybody in the audience would have.
I open up to the board first.
I have a question. Do you know what we were receiving for Title I funds, the total?
The Title I grant was about $19,000, and then we had, when the district did their final report last September, they carried over about another $14,000 for unspent funds. You're allowed to carry funds over a year in advance, but the district received a letter that based on our census and qualifications for Title I funds were no longer eligible.
And so I'm sorry, do we have any left over for?
We do. We're spending them current year. We're going to have, we
questions from the board?
I'll make the motion and approve.
Okay, 1 minute, I'm going to open up to the public. Questions from the public? Come on, Kelly. Bring that CPA down here. Okay, no questions, Mr. Sheldon, so I guess it's going to pass, but we're going to do it in finance. We go to the finance section. Thank you for your work on this budget. I know it was difficult, but thank you. Okay, moving to minutes. Review of April 10th. Any comments or questions, please email our board secretary. And we have an approval of March 27th. Do I have a motion?
Move that we approve March 27th.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Walker. Any questions? Call the question.
I'm sorry, can you repeat who?
Sure, Mr. Walsh made the motion, and Mrs. Walker made the second.
Thank you. Mr. Griffin?
Abstain, I was absent.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro? Yes. Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
I abstain.
Dr. Leslie? Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, committee reports, administrative items. Mr. Darian, will you take that?
Yes, we have not had a building and grounds meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. I did hear you say that. I'd like to make a motion to introduce item A1.
Second by Dr. Leslie. Any questions? Call the question.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro? Yes. Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Leslie? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, buildings and grounds, Mr. Darian.
Yes, as I was saying, we did not have a meeting since the last time we met. And so I have nothing special to report from buildings and grounds perspective. So with that, I'd like to introduce items B1.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Walsh. Any questions? Call the question.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro? Yes. Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Leslie? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, curriculum, Mrs. Norian.
Yes, we also have not had a meeting since our last meeting. So I would like to present items C1 through, C1 and C2.
Second. I'll second.
Any questions? Call the question.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro? Yes. Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Leslie? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, and I think we would be remiss to not thank Mrs. Hawley for her work on the math curriculum. Okay, finance, Mrs. Shapiro.
Hi, okay, so finance met earlier this evening. We discussed extensively a number of budget items. The superintendent provided us with the status update regarding the before and aftercare program review, and we will continue that process. So this evening, I would like to make a motion to approve items D1 through D7.
Second by Dr. Westlake. Any questions? Call the question.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Leslie? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, delegate report, Mr. Walsh.
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Are any meetings coming up that we need to approve mileage?
I have a legislative meeting coming up on the 11th. I have a
11th of May.
May, and I have a delegates assembly coming up on the 18th.
We have a meeting the 8th, right?
Yes.
You know that? Okay, personnel, Mrs. Walker.
Yes, we had a meeting on April 10th, and your minutes are in the packet of the things that we had discussed, including having you put the new OT, full-time OT. I'd like with that, I'd like to present F1 through 3.
Second by Dr. Westlake. Any questions? What was revised in the school calendar from the last time?
There were 2 days that we had put into the calendar for emergency closing dates that were not used. So the change is to put 1 day before the Memorial Day weekend and 1 day at the end of
I was
the
thinking it was next year, I got confused. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Call question?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Dorian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Westlake? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, policy, Mrs. Levy.
Thank you. Yeah, we met last week. Yes, sorry. And I'm going to provide G1 the first reading of the following policies and regulations. Security and electronic surveillance, fundraising activities, and fiscal restraints for first reading.
So any questions or comments on these policies, reach out to Mrs. Levy and Dr. Ansel. Public relations, Mr. Griffin.
Yeah, so we met today and are looking at adding some questions to the climate survey that's going to be going on in May. So we're drafting a couple of those. And then also the next newsletter is going out either at the end of May or early June. So you should know about that. If you have questions that you feel like the board needs to know in terms of PR or whatever, please submit them to me. We're going to try to keep our section of questions as tight as possible, so there's not like, tons, but we'll look at a few and then present it off. Our next meeting is May 22nd.
Tri-District, Dr. Westlake. Open to the public. Oh my God, that mic is over your head. You can take it out if you want. It's easier.
I just have 2 questions. The student support services, the yellow, what does that represent?
So student support,
Put your mic on.
student support, attendance, health service, guidance, improvement of instruction, meaning supervisor, curriculum writing, those type of things, the library, and staff development, staff training services, all the PD for the teaching staff.
Thank you. And my second question is the Title I program. I know we lost the funding. Is that something we are going to continue and pay out of pocket for, or is that just something that's probably not going to happen anymore?
Our data has been very positive. The program has been very successful. So I am planning to recommend to the board that we should continue that in some form. We may have to make a few minor changes because of funding issues, but overall, I think that our staff has done an absolutely fantastic job with that, and I've been extremely happy with the results I've seen.
Yeah, on the parent side of things, I've heard nothing but great things about it, so that's great to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Want to give us an update on the town council meeting? Anything exciting going on?
A lot of things going on in town, specifically related to school, nothing, actually, you know what, can I just?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just sign the book and put your name in so we have it for the minutes.
Sure. There was one, our last meeting, one of the councilmen requested to see if possibly we can have a joint meeting reviewing the budget together, for the only purpose of, just because most of the taxes are coming from residents to the school board, just so we're all on the same page, and maybe there's some services that we can use together, some joint services to get better pricing or better deals on some of the same services that we share.
And so if you want to do a meeting about joint services, we can do that anytime.
Okay, would the finance chair, would you be willing to come to a council meeting to discuss, or would that be?
Just come to one of our committee meetings.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, and when is the next finance meeting?
We'll get it to you. Like, it depends on what's on the agenda, but we can even have a special one if you wanted to. If you have ideas of what services you want to share.
Yeah, I think, Tom Kelly, our finance chair, would love to look at that.
So I'll be in touch with you to work on coordinating something.
Okay.
Do you have some ideas?
No, I think Tom does.
No, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, Mr. Kelly.
Sure.
Okay.
Is there a pen up there? Is there a pen?
Also, Mrs. Yu, I think also the borough was celebrating the 125th
Yes.
anniversary,
Yes.
and it was mentioned that maybe our ward or our school, Oradell Public School, might want to have something more elaborate than just marching, maybe float or something that maybe the PT.
I think they were trying to tie that into the maybe 4th of July parade that we were going to do.
Correct,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Wasn't there talk on this side about a float previously? This is pizza just followed.
Get the ice and kids to go.
We used to have a lot of floats. Actually, we just took us all last night. All those people that were in town for the swim club, and we had great floats in town. Like the swim club shot off, a volcano shot it off in front of the reviewing stand, all kinds of great stuff. We have no floats
If
anymore.
that's something of interest, we can coordinate on that too. Good.
We could have an OEA float. We could have an OPS float. We could have an OAA float. We could have a BOE float. We could get 4 floats out of this building. Think about that.
Good, you're in charge.
You're in charge.
And thank you, Mrs. Yu, for attending our meeting.
Anyone else for the public? All right, any older new business? Mr. Griffin?
Yeah, I just wanted to get an update on the after-school program.
Nancy had mentioned it during her
We
report.
discussed it in committee, and we will continue to review.
Okay.
We have some more questions, and it's a process.
And we might even do a survey. Would that make you happy?
No, I like community input. I think that's good. But it does sound like you guys are doing the due diligence, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for everybody who's working on that. I think that's very good. I have another question. Extended school year programs. I interpreted the grapevine that might be changing. Is that something that has come up in front of the board? Did I not realize that it's been changing?
What are you talking about?
Yes, the CNI committee has had discussions about some of those changes. The only thing that I think is really significant is that we're expanding and improving the services we're offering to our special needs students. And that's largely due to a lot of hard work by Mrs. Disler, who's just been really working hard to ramp up what we're offering. So I think that's the biggest change.
Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know all the details, so someone had called and said they felt like it was going to be less services, so I don't know. And I'm on that CNI committee, so I hadn't heard some of these changes, so maybe
Someone had called, like a parent called?
yeah, a community member called. So I don't know all the details, that's why I was asking about it. So.
I guess they should call
Yeah, they
Mrs.
should.
Disler,
Mhm.
the principal
I think from my perspective, it was just more about like if there was a change, is the board being informed of this change? And hearing that it's been presented to CNI, I wasn't aware of it on CNI, so I just wanted to make sure that if there was a change, that the board was being, informed of the change.
What kind of change do you hear was coming?
That the program itself was changing, that the extended school year program was changing, and that it wasn't going to be the same as it was in the past.
That doesn't happen, I mean. That's okay, so.
But I would think,
CNI sometime, I guess, or just.
and I think, Jeremy, the protocol would be, and I sit on CNI, if that was part of CNI, it would be in your minutes.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
And, okay, and then of course, no one makes a decision within the committee, it would then be put to the full board.
What's CNI?
Curriculum instruction.
Oh, it's our curriculum committee. Formally. Any other business? I know Jeremy has a, go ahead.
No, go
No,
ahead.
no, finish.
No, just go ahead.
I have my JG list, so go ahead.
I have my JG list. Dorothy, you and I talked about this before, but I just wanted to ensure, make the board aware that Christine Robinson is still on the committee to negotiate.
Yes, but any of this has to be in private session, so we can go into closed session after we finish, no new business.
The people who are on that.
Yes, I told the attorney anything about it. So we'll go into closed session.
Can I jump in here?
Yes.
Old business. We're taking our board photo Wednesday, May 8th. So let's get here at 7 o'clock. And that's my reminder. And so far, I think everybody can attend. You guys have 100%. And with that, I have to go down the door.
Go. Mr. Derry?
Yes, yeah, I have a couple of things. One is the landscaping project. Ms. Shawny could give us an update as to where we are. I know that it's spring and everyone is out diligently working. I was wondering if, I didn't even have a chance to look to them, but I don't think they started work at the front, did they?
No, not yet.
Do we have an ETA on that, or?
I don't, but I can get that for you. I was out last week on vacation. I know we have another drainage issue that we're working on the grass, so.
For the front, or?
No, I understand. I was out of the office last week, so I will follow up with those.
Okay. I have another item regarding these microphones. The urban tech specialists were here at the last board meeting, and they had indicated that this system, which is called the council, and these integrated phones, they all tie to each other at the daisy chain. They had indicated that we should get an additional one for the podium instead of running two different systems. So I don't know where we are, whether or not we're contemplating buying an additional microphone. And then the other part about the speakers is today it seems pretty good, but I don't know, is this coming in with the system ahead, above, or just this one little speaker? Yes. Yeah, our last board meeting, we patched it into the mixer, and it was, decent sound, and, we're back to the speakers. So if we can just kind of, with Kevin or the custodial staff, solidify, the setting up of the system. If they need crib notes or labels or, anything to optimize it. But just the two things, the mic and the patch board.
Any other old and new business?
I would just like to ask, I know we talked about in committee, and I apologize. Do we know which meetings we are going to be celebrating retired teachers?
June 12th, right? Is that when we're doing, that we're doing teacher of the year that night, or no, we're doing that? Teacher of the year. And honestly, I think we're doing June 12th.
June 12th.
Retire, P's, Odyssey, and I believe teacher of the year.
Okay.
And that goes to 22nd would be like years of service.
Okay. because I know that there are some people that are interested in making sure that they have their calendar clear for the retirement.
Right.
Okay?
Dr. Leslie? Put your mic on.
I have
We
something.
can't close yet.
You didn't hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank Nicole. This is a difficult position. There are so many inputs, especially on K-12, K-6. And she has worked very, very hard to provide us with some new direction and some support for what we're doing. Wish her well, and she leaves, wish she would stay, but just thank her for all that she has done in this very short period of time. With that, I make the motion.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Sorry.
So I have something I'd like to bring up in your business, if I can. All right, everybody sitting down? Okay, good. I was thinking the other night, I was reading Facebook, and there's some topics on Facebook that follow me as lately. And, we've been struggling with how we should respond, or if we should respond, and if we do respond, what's the appropriate way. And, social media is challenging because, as a board member, you're just one person, and you don't have any really authority. It's the body as a whole that, makes decisions. And in addition, the person who should be speaking on behalf of the school board is our school board president. So if anything were to, God forbid, happen, it would always come from the board president. So when I read these comments on Facebook, it just kills me. And there has to be a better way. And we've talked about, depending on the topic on Facebook, maybe the chair of that particular topic, if it's finance, the finance chair, if it's curriculum, the curriculum chair, whatever. Be the person to speak on behalf of the board if they were to share their opinions with the president. And, while that sounds good, I just know from past experiences that it takes forever to get two people to wordsmith a comment. And even then, it doesn't come out as intended sometimes on social media, and then you get into a back and forth with someone, and then you don't have time to respond, and it looks like you're disinterested or what have you. So at the end of the day, this is my opinion. So I think that every agenda under public relations should have an agenda item where we as a board discuss social media topics. And if there is something that's up in social media that we would like to voice our opinions on, we should talk about it here at our board meetings. And this way, all our opinions are, just basically everyone gets to express how they feel. And if we want to reach a conclusion or some type of action, we're all here and we're all doing it. It's on the record, it's being recorded. If anyone in the public wants to know how we feel, they can come watch the video, or they can attend and participate by speaking at the podium. And I think that if you see something on Facebook, the first thing you should think about as a board member is, I can't wait till the next board meeting because there's going to be an agenda item to discuss this. So that's my opinion. Also, the other additional benefit of it would be the board president could use a generic phrase or a statement on Facebook or whatever site it may be. And I just wrote this down today. I was driving. I was second to train, so it wasn't like I was putting anyone in danger. But I wrote, this post has caught the eye of the board's attention, and will be discussed at our next board meeting, and then you can put the date. You're welcome to participate by coming joining us and speak in person. If you cannot make it, our meetings are posted on YouTube, and you can provide a link to our YouTube site. So it's a little bit of PR and exposure, and you can put that in every single post if it affects the Oradell schools. So let me know what you think.
So who would put that up? The president
Yes.
would put that up
Yes.
each time. And if we saw something, we could let the president know to then respond. It's up on Facebook.
Yes.
And she should.
Right. And then over time, people would know, oh, I can't wait to go to the next meeting. It should be juicy, should be interesting. Or we may not want to talk about it. you know, it's up to us, right? At the end of the day, I mean, it could be something that's just, as an example, the article about consolidating micro-districts and 280 districts may be legislatively closed, which would involve us, and it would force us and River Edge to combine with Riverdale. And, you know, that has a lot of implications. And, you know, we could sit and talk about it if we wanted to. And, you know, we could bring up things that, you know, haven't been brought up in social media, like, you know, self-governance and self-direction over curriculum, you know, over oversight. You know, you want to leave it up to a larger district. A district that has no experience with K through 6, you know, has always been a middle school, high school district, so they don't have experience. That we are one building, and we may seem top-heavy, but in most towns, we would have 2 buildings. You would never have 800 students in one building. So, in effect, we are consolidating here in Oradell. We have consolidated the principals and the admin staff, which is 2 basically virtual schools into one. So, you know, we could be talking about a lot of stuff. So, I didn't even bring all that up, but it's just an example.
I think it's a great idea. I think anything, you know, the one thing I would say is that folks that are posting out there about stuff, I think it's great. You know, like I have no issue with it. I know you mentioned like, oh, I just eat you up when they post all this stuff. But I think if there are people in our community that are concerned and they're willing to put out there the things they're concerned about, that's great. I think if we had some sort of easy way of either the president or whoever replying and then us bringing it to the a bigger discussion, I think that'd be awesome. I think waiting that couple of weeks to do it is fine. So I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea too. I would say that, you know, we often talk about why there aren't more people here for the meetings or, and I think a lot of times maybe the meetings aren't as easily attended. You know, there are 2-parent working families, you know, people have to get babysitters to come. So if there is something that they want to discuss for sure that they know is going to come up on the agenda, I think that's a great idea. I also think it makes, and this is something that we started discussing in the Public Relations Committee meeting today and didn't finish, was I think to some extent it makes the board and the board members a little bit more approachable per se. And so that things don't sort of happen just on the internet and that no one ever addresses them or if they don't come here in person. So I think that's a good idea.